So in the last year, we have lost several of our esteemed members of our profession. First one up here is John Upledger. John Upledger was born in 1932 in Detroit, Michigan. As a young man, he played piano and accordion and had aspirations to become a jazz musician. Well, fortunately for us, he discovered that his role to medicine while he was in the U.S. Coast Guard during the 1950s. He was out at sea in the eye of a hurricane, and there was a sudden need for someone to have an emergency appendectomy. He performed that while having instructions from the surgeon who was on a ship-to-shore phone. That started his passion and his commitment for a lifetime of caring for others. From 1975 to 1983, as a clinical researcher and professor of biomechanics at the College of Osteopathic Medicine at the University of Michigan, Michigan State University, excuse me, he led a team of scientists who were tasked to perform experiments that tested the existence and influence of the craniosacral systems. So throughout his career as an osteopathic physician, Dr. Upledger was recognized as an innovator and a leading proponent in the investigation of the craniosacral systems and creator of many new therapies, the most well-known of which we all know as craniosacral therapy. He co-founded the Upledger Institute, dedicated to the natural enhancement of health, and in 1987 established the Upledger Foundation. That was created to reach out to the less fortunate and to help improve everybody's life experience. He authored many, many books, and if you go to the booth next door, you'll see a large number of them, as well as articles and peer-reviewed and other kind of specialized publications. He left quite an impression on all of us. We're grateful that he chose to join the ranks of care for others, and that he continued to share his discoveries and knowledge and maintain his willingness to stay on this path, because when he started, he didn't get instant acceptance. He had a lot of obstacles. He had people who called him a quack. He had people who really challenged the validity of everything he said. And fortunately for us, he stayed true to his thoughts and his vision. He passed away last October at the age of 80. He left a legacy and the ongoing work of his foundation that is providing the validity that we have been wanting and needing for the non-traditional medical approaches for which we all benefit, and which we have mentioned several times in this week already, the need and value of that. So here's to John Upledger, may he pass through in peace. Also, in the last year, we lost Elaine Calenda. She entered this world in 1988. She was destined to make her mark in the profession of massage therapy. She explored theater in high school, which was a perfect natural lead-in for her lifelong role as an educator. We all know that that is the ultimate improv. She was very soon after high school, she went to and graduated from the Swedish Institute. That was in 1978 when she was 20. And she quickly rose to the role of teacher by the time she was 22. For the next 10 plus years, she contributed to much to the quality of the teaching at the Swedish Institute, leaving her mark on all those who had the privilege to be her student. She was a champion for anyone in pain or suffering, thus her gifts as a healer were well sought after. In the early 90s, she found the urge to move to Boulder, Colorado. And there she landed at the Boulder School of Massage, beginning a 20-year love affair. A journey of sharing and discovery, inspiration and joy. Her zany sense of humor and comedic teaching style quickly endeared her to her students, while her skills and experience as a therapist contributed to the success of the school and all of its graduates. Passionate about her profession, always the standard bearer, Elaine, for those who know her, was always at the forefront of whatever cause would elevate public opinion and respect for the massage therapy field, and for anyone who was practicing. Bringing her incredible presence in the massage therapy field, she passionately advocated for stronger professional standards and higher educational requirements. A proud member of the American Massage Therapy Association, she was awarded the chapter as well as the National Meritorious Awards in 2012. And the Boulder College of Massage Therapy, which it became known as later, honored Elaine with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Massage therapist, educator, published author, researcher, Elaine wrote for Massage and CAM publications and was a contributing author to several books and helped to shape the National Certification Board. True to her history of volunteerism, she spearheaded research projects and the development of community-based programs. Speaking to several people who experienced her teaching as a student, or as a teaching assistant, or as a fellow faculty member, it is easy to see Elaine's legacy and passion living through them and through the thousands of therapists that she touched and inspired over the years. Just before this conference last year in Tucson, Elaine passed away, just very shortly before, on August 24th, 2012. There was a wonderful, spontaneous gathering of those who knew her on the grounds of the hotel. Those who were there, you were part of creating a heartfelt and passionate tribute to a heartful and passionate woman. Today, we give her a formal nod of gratitude for all that she has contributed to our field and the cause of quality education.
Let's see if this little video from Elaine will come up because the picture came terrible. Oh, the best laid plans. It was supposed to have loaded. No, it was supposed to have loaded. I'll play it for you later. It's really it's a YouTube that Elaine did where she was playing Julia Child, and she was rubbing the chicken and she was bringing out the juices, and it's just incredible. It is a hot link on the PowerPoint, so you'll get to see it. You could actually just look on YouTube and see Free the Bird, bring out the juices, and you will just laugh because Elaine is just a beautiful thing. So,
and very sadly, I have to acknowledge that very recently, just a couple of weeks ago, we lost one of our favorite leaders, Bob King. If I can do this. Bob was born in Chicago in January 1948, just missing the most of us that are 49ers, and grew up in New Jersey. As a young man, he was both an aspiring seminarian and a boxer. He had that joy in combat for bodies and souls that is somewhat rare in our profession. Thank you. Yeah, David wrote that. He liked a good fight, particularly when he was right. And we all know he loved to win. From his humble beginnings in New Jersey, Bob found his way into massage and into partnership with Jim Hackett, his co-founder of Chicago School of Massage. His passion for athletics and healing and personal renewal has generated a 32-plus years commitment to therapeutic massage and body work. Through his clinical practice, school ownership, teaching, authoring many books and articles and manuals and videos and anything else he could create. He created a legacy of professional success and nationally recognized leadership. As a pioneer in the field, Bob helped raise therapeutic massage to an unprecedented stature on the national level. He was an accomplished and innovative therapist, a frequent lecturer and teacher at workshops both in the United States and internationally, and a generous provider of free massages to some of Chicago's neediest individuals. Bob was a strong advocate of vigorous educational standards and improved curriculums at massage schools. From 1977 to 1990, he was an essential player in the American Massage Therapy Association, from local state president to several roles on the national level, which included National Director of Education and 2 terms as the national president. At a critical juncture in the history of that organization and of our profession. During the 80s and 90s, the early 90s, the AMTA was in a transition from the old guard to the new young upstarts. Those were the visionaries of what we have become, who we are today. Then, the then recently formed Council of Schools represented the driving force for this change, and Bob King had been there leading the charge. I remember back then, the National Board would meet for these marathon meetings, 12 hours plus, whatever they could get away with, each day, and late into the night. I can tell you, the old guard had stamina. Nothing else, they had stamina. They had spent years passing the offices around between this small handful of willing lifers. Everybody was, you didn't be president yet, all right, you can do that next. They just forget that around. The membership files lived in Jim Bowling's basement. Somewhere, was he in Alabama, Tennessee? Tennessee, yeah. And there was only a few thousand of them back then. I know I had joined somewhere around then, and my membership's 3,400, so it couldn't have been any more than that. There was long filibusters staged by Bob and many others that started to shape this foundation, making way for the many innovations that grew our profession from the realm of folk medicine, sweaty health clubs, and the indulgence of the rich, to a broadly accepted profession with tens of thousands in its ranks. Many of us at this gathering were there. We were there to crowd the meeting rooms, adding our voices to the shifting tide. David Lauderstein, Nancy Dale, Sally Meaden, she is, Ben Benjamin, myself, and a whole bunch of others. I'm sure I didn't name everybody in the room. His business partner, Jim Hackett, was there in the front too, although oftentimes anchoring the opposition position when once Bob became president. And as we did this fabulous, sometimes raucous dance of shifting our foundational culture, moving from the good old boys club to the more democratic one that could really affect change. Ray Moriyasu remembers that Bob's ability to frame the issues before massage and inspire people to become involved in working towards uplifting of massage as a field and as a profession was very important to how massage has developed. Resources and the numbers of people at play were a challenge back then. At a national convention in Reno one year, one evening's activity was a bowling tournament, mostly because we could use the lanes in the venue for free. Anything that we could do. Participation was encouraged by downplaying winning or skill with things such as delivering the ball with the opposite hand for a frame or two. But I got to tell you, Bob was a very competitive soul. He bowled every frame, and his whole team bowled every frame, aiming for a strike. He did like to win. He expected excellence. And it served the AMTA and the profession well. Now, I was there, and I was playing in the lane next to him. Now, he was a really good bowler. He got over 300, whatever the score. I won the trophy for the lowest score, and it was 43. It didn't matter. We all had fun, and we all bonded over this experience. Along the way, he met his wonderful wife, Kathy, with whom he spent 23 years of soulmate connection. In 2004, he was recognized with the Distinguished Service Award from the Massage Therapy Foundation. And in 2009, he and his wife, Kathy, received the Massage Therapy Foundation Performance Health Humanitarian Award. Bob was further honored with many awards and honors that were well-deserved, including being inducted into the Massage Hall of Fame in 2010. Bob created a nucleus for change within the profession, spearheading a drive to create higher standards of learning and upgrade national training programs. He also created the AMTA National Sports Massage Certification Program, which was one of the very first certification programs in our field. He urged setting up grassroots chapters in all the 50 states, getting everybody involved, as many as possible. He implemented an aggressive marketing effort, promoting massage among the mainstream media that spurred a surge in national acceptance and the usage of massage therapy, and also doubled the association's membership. So he was a very effective leader. Under his leadership, he laid the foundations for the creation of many of our most esteemed organizations today: the National Certification Board, the Massage Therapy Foundation, and the Council of Massage Therapy Accreditation. Necessary benchmarks of a maturing profession of which we still appreciate the benefits today. He established the national headquarters in Evanston, Illinois, and hired the first actual staff to run things. We really grew up there. Bob was quoted as saying, "Grounded in science, applied with the hands, and coming from the heart, this profession is rapidly emerging into the mainstream of healthcare, wellness, and prevention." David Lauderstein, in a sweet, heartfelt tribute, suggests perhaps we need to learn a lesson from this time of transition, because we are now entering a new round of both conflict and cooperation, this time around the standards of education. Taking conflicts as a source of joy takes the rancor out of the world. And I don't know if you said it, Bob said it, but I'm sure that Ben Benjamin would agree with it. We all benefit from his leadership, but his mark is made in the heart of the individual. One of his students says, "Not a day in my practice goes by that my clients don't benefit from from the learning I did with Bob King. I am the massage therapist I am today, largely in part because of Bob. Thank you for all you did, paving the way for the rest of us." And a student in a CE class with him, frustrated at not getting it, sought his help. Actually, he sought her to help her. He stayed at a break and showed her by working with her. She says, "In a moment, my approach to learning changed. I understood the stretch because he showed it to me. My approach to trust changed when I realized I could actually trust someone unconsciously because my gut knew that he was trustable, and I let him go. He put my head in his hands, and he changed me as a practitioner and as a person." May we all have such a moment, even just one, with a great teacher in our massage world. If we have one of those, let's take a moment and reflect on that. Randy Cummings calls Bob massage father, brother from another mother, fascial emancipator, body mobilizer, boxing raconteur, heart warrior, innovator, loving friend, mentor, senator of street jive, ambassador of the less fortunate, educator, mercurial messenger, punk, priest, and prophet. David Golson says, "Bob, you will always be remembered with your intuitive style and technique. You set a higher standard for massage therapy and helped all of us learn the difference massage therapy can make, not only for our clients, but also for ourselves. You will be sorely missed. Robert Cryan Bob King, a groundbreaking pioneer in the art and practice of massage therapy. He died in Chicago, July 5th, 2013. He was 65 years old. He was an inspiration to every one of us and a great man. He will be missed, but his legend will live through so many of us here and through us into those of the future."
So we're going to traveled around the world teaching massage. He was on the road quite a bit. And thinking about today, I looked up and I reminded myself, Bob was a big fan of Alan Blind Owl Wilson, the lead singer for Canned Heat. So I thought we would dedicate this song to my dear friend Bob.
All right, so there's a piece. How you feeling? Sympathetic.